I got pajama pants on, but you can't see them because YouTube. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm wearing my glasses because I tore my contacts and it's really hot where I live right now, so I can't be bothered to wear makeup. So that is why my face looks like this. So I thought I would do something a little bit different on my channel. It's coming up on that time where incoming freshmen are leaving to go to school, and I remember being a freshman and being kind of like, ooh, what do I do? Like, how do I meet people? And like a bunch of other stuff. Like thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be living away from home. And it's just a big change in your life. And so I know a few freshmen, well, incoming freshmen, and so I reached out to them and asked, I was like, hey, do you have any questions that I can answer for you? And so I guess this is kind of like a college Q&A. So, and I have notes here so I make sure I cover all the questions. College Q&A. So the first question, one of the first questions was how to get involved. So I don't know if it's like this at every school, but where I go to school, we have this thing called an organization fair, and it's towards like, I don't know, it's kind of like at the beginning of the semester, but not when you first get here. And it's just like a bunch of organizations, they all have tables out, and you can go up to each one and like talk to them about what their organization's about. I think like that's a really good way to get involved somewhere. That organization fair, there's anywhere from something like dance marathon to like church to churches, to a Japanese club, to like the student government stuff. I mean, you can, there's something out there for everyone. I think there's like over 400 organizations where I am. I think it's important to remember that to get involved somewhere, it does take time. Like you can't go one time and be frustrated because you're not getting involved, because relationships and stuff take time to build. So like go somewhere if you like it. I encourage you to like press into it and be like, I want to see more what this is about. I don't know if it's like this at other campuses, but at USC we have this thing called Welcome Week, and it's the first week, and there's a bunch of different events that people put on, and go to some of those. Like I think my freshman roommate and I went to an ice cream social at a church. And that church didn't end up being the right church for us, but it was like really cool at the same time. Like we were out and doing stuff, because, and this is kind of segueing into another question, is like how to deal with being away from home. If you keep yourself so busy, you don't really have time to miss home. I was really bad about it. My freshman year, I went home every other weekend. Trying to adjust to being away from home was one of the harder things for me, because like I had gone to online school, so I was with my family all the time, and getting to the point where I wasn't with them was really hard. Get yourself busy, stay involved in stuff, which you can do by like going to org fair, welcome week. There's all kinds of different things that your college is going to be doing to keep you busy, because if you're missing home, like that's completely normal. It's a big change in your life. College is a massive change in your life, and it's like, I want you to know that like what you're feeling is completely normal. Like, there's all kinds of things I could say about homesickness. Like, just press in and be present to what you have at school. I feel like that's the best advice I could give. Like, really try your best to be completely present at school. Give a school a full year before you transfer. It might not be the school for you, but give it a full year before you transfer, because a lot can happen in a year. Like I said, relationships take time, relationships take time to build, and you just have to be patient and wait. The people on your floor, if you're living on campus, are a good place to start too. Although I wasn't, the girls next door were pretty cool. But that's about it for me. I was really like focused on academics my freshman year. I mean, I still am, but I do a lot more too. I kind of figured out a balance in my life, and it's really cool. So, how to make friends. So, I think the best way to make friends is get involved in organizations that are going to attract the kind of people that you want. So for me personally, I wanted to go away to school and get involved in a group with, get involved in a Christian organization. And that was because I had a really good friend my senior year of high school, and she was a year older than me. So she graduated and did like the whole college thing. And she got involved in like a Christian organization her freshman year, and it was just like so awesome. It was like something I was like, that seems so cool. Like you've met so many cool people, learned more about Jesus. Like what more could you ask for? So I kind of set off with the same mindset in mind. What? My ears are ringing, or something's ringing outside? Something was ringing outside because they're not ringing anymore. I feel like that's the easiest way to do it because you already have like a common interest in mind. So like if you like writing, get involved in something writing. I don't know if your school has that. And then once you're in that organization and like starting to like build relationships with people, another question that was asked was what to like look for in friends. I don't know what to look for in friends. I feel like that's a really hard question because like there's certain friends I have and I never would have thought in a million years that I would be friends with them. But then there's other friends I have and I'm like, I would have been friends with that person. For me, I personally didn't want anyone that was gonna like make me do stuff I wasn't comfortable with. So like I wasn't gonna be the one that was like going downtown and drinking underage and like doing all kinds of stuff like that. So it made it I feel like it made it a little bit harder for me. But I found like an organization that had the kind of people I was looking for, and I pressed into those friendships that I thought were worth it. How do you know something's gonna be worth it? I don't know, like I just like felt something in my gut that this is someone I can trust. I'm gonna go super cliche here. You want to be friends with someone that wants the best for you. And sometimes that's kind of hard to find right away. And I just encourage you to be patient for that. I mean, I guess don't try and force anything. Let it be organic, because that's where you get the authentic stuff. I think the most important thing for you to do is not buy the lie of like loneliness of like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna meet anyone that's gonna be my friend, like that's gonna be a true friend. I feel like you kind of just know when someone's gonna be a true friend, and always is going to be there for you. Like when you get that feeling, like press into that and be intentional. Being intentional, I feel like, is the most important thing in like looking for friends and making friends. Look for someone who's like super intentional and stuff of what they do. It's like, it's just something that you just kind of know. Conversations you have with them, how they live their life, and don't be afraid to be like, hey, could we go get ice cream or something sometime? I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. I think it's important to think about stuff you have in common, and I think looking for friends in the right places is where you're gonna meet those true people. So what to look out for? There's just so many different things. I don't even know how to answer that. Like there's like the party crew, you have school, like professors and stuff you have to look out for. There's, a very good tip. Most of you have probably already registered for classes, but take this for spring semester. When you are registering for your classes and looking at professors, look at the website ratemyprofessor.com. I have loved that website, and sometimes you are stuck with a professor and you can't help it. But Rate My Professor also kind of gives you like a good idea of what you should be expecting when you walk into that classroom. So if we're talking more like friends for what to look out for, I would say watch out for the people that, I don't know, like you don't feel like you have the best gut feeling about, or people that bring you into situations that make you feel uncomfortable. And I mean, some like uncomfortable situations are good, but it's also not, I don't, like for me, I guess I'll give an example of like an uncomfortable situation. So I struggle with anxiety, and I, in a million years, like would not have gone to the state fair by like, that's just not something that like occurred to me. Like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a lot of fun. Like, that doesn't seem like a lot of fun to me. But because there's lots of crowds, you know, you have those portable rides, like these things like are meant to like collapse and break down. You're riding on it. No, thank you. But I was like, okay, I am friends with these people. They understand me, they understand I have anxiety, and I'm gonna try and go to this fair. Stuff like that I feel like is fine, because like I wasn't completely comfortable with it, but I wasn't comfortable with the situation, but I was comfortable with the people I was with. I feel like your gut is a lot better than people give it credit for. Hopefully that answers that question. Okay, so do senior boys try and hit on freshmen? I go to a really big school, so I don't know if that's why I haven't had this problem, but I have not had that problem at all. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe your school's like really small, but I haven't had a problem with that at all. Textbooks, where and when. So my rule is absolutely positively, if you can avoid it, do not buy your books from the school bookstore. They're way overpriced, and just like sometimes like your school will have stuff where it's like very specific to your school, so you can only buy it there, and that just really gets under my skin. I'm like, why? Like, this is so stupid. But a lot of the times you won't even touch the book. So for me, I buy a lot of my books on Amazon, but I always wait until after the first week of classes where I have all my syllabi, because it's like, okay, I've talked to the professor, I know what this course is going to be like. Another place you can buy books is what I call the secondhand market, which is where there's like Facebook groups and stuff, probably for your school, and a lot of upperclassmen are trying to get rid of their books so they can buy their own books again. And so they're selling books that they had their freshman year or their sophomore year. And that's a really good place you can buy books. You can meet somewhere on campus, and it's like super easy, and they're usually selling it super cheap, because they are in your shoes and they understand. So my recommendation is, for textbooks, wait until after the first week of classes, the full week of classes. So like for USC, we start school on a Thursday. So I'll buy all my books that following Thursday if I need any. And I'll get them from like Amazon or Chegg, and there's always like rentals and stuff you can do. And I mean, I even had a professor, she was like, they say you need the textbook and it's required, but I'm telling you, you can probably find some stuff online. So I mean, talk to your professors, they'll tell you if they really think you need it. There's always you can share with people. So the differences between college and high school classes. So I go to a big school, I go to USC, so we have a really big like freshman class, and there's lots of people around. So I was in some really big lecture halls. So the differences between high school and college was, I mean, for me, it wasn't that big of it was an adjustment, but it wasn't like super huge. I think the biggest tip is having good time management, which I will include some tips for that, which I'll talk about in a little bit, in a few minutes. But differences between, so you're gonna have a lot of work. There's like some formula, I might try and like pop it up on the screen if I can find it, of like how many credits you're taking, and then it's like you multiply that. I can't know. I don't remember, but they told me when I was at orientation, and I was like, that's a lot of work. So difference is your classes are probably going to be a lot bigger. That's just inevitable. So I always sit in like the second row. The first row was too close for me, but the second row is like perfect because you don't have like people's laptops and stuff distracting you. So you'll have a lot more work. The tests in college for me were a big adjustment because it's like a lot of them were more, it was like a second level kind of thinking. Like you had to think differently. Oh, one of my roommates is home. I don't have a Shaki or Kindle. It's like a different adjustment. Like there's a difference, but I can't explain the difference. Just like go in and be ready, and don't be afraid to talk to your professors, because your professors, it's Kinbug! Because your professors 9 times out of 10 do want to help you. Yeah. Do you have any tips on time management for my college Q&A?
Get a job.
Get a job?
Yeah, if you're busy, then you have to manage your time better. It's not a choice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
If you have a lot of free time, you're gonna waste it all.
Yeah, because Netflix is very enticing. YouTube is very enticing. Like, keep yourself busy, because that gets you on a schedule, and it gets you, that's the best tips for time management that I can think of, is like, keep yourself busy because you have to schedule out your time, but not too busy that you exhaust yourself. Speaking from experience. Sleep is so important. Like, I cannot stress that enough. You're not gonna get as sick if you sleep. You're not going to, there's like, sleep is so important. And social life is important, but not like, I feel like balancing social life and school, it kind of just comes, you figure it out. It's a lot of trial and error. Sometimes you might have stayed up a little bit too late, and so you're really tired at that 8:30 the next day, but you had a really good conversation with someone, so you're like, okay, it's worth it. I don't know. It just kind of, it's kind of organic, and it kind of, there's no way I can really recommend like how to balance that. But time management, I would say, yeah, definitely like get on a schedule. It's so important to be on a schedule, because otherwise it's just, you're gonna find yourself in the black holes that are like YouTube and Netflix and chilling and doing nothing and not being productive with your life. Time management, I haven't really quite figured that out myself, because procrastination is very, very real. Thank you guys so much for watching. That is all I have planned for today's video. If you liked it, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button down below and give it a thumbs up. If you have any other questions for me about college or anything really, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to answer them. And yeah, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Yes, that is right. I now have Instagram as well. And that is all at I am just Carmen, and I'll put that like right here for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.